Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 2. Let us introduce ourselves. I am Elfin Farida. Next is Zahra Zahtira Priyananda. And then Roikhatun Nikmah. And the last is Amaliyatul Khusniyah Arif. In this opportunity, we would like to present about case study. Firstly, I would like to explain about definition of case study. A case study is a research methodology that has commonly used in social science. A case study is a research strategy and an empirical inquiry that investigates a phenomenon within its real-life context. Case study refers to the collection and presentation of detailed information about a particular participant or small group, frequently including the accounts of subjects themselves. A form of qualitative descriptive research, the case study looks intensely at an individual or small participant pool, showing conclusion only about the participant or group only in the specific context. Researchers do not focus on the discovery of a universal, generalizable truth, nor do they typically look for cause-effect relationship. Instead, emphasis is placed on exploration and description. Case study method enables a researcher to closely examine the data within a specific context. In most cases, a case study method selects a small geographical area or very limited number of individuals as the subject of study. Secondly, characteristic of case study. There are several important concepts that need to be understood about what case study research is actually about. First, placing the object of research as a case. The uniqueness of case study research is that there is a way of looking at the research object as a case. In particular, case study research is not a choice of research method, but how to select cases as objects or research target. This statement emphasizes that case study researchers must understand how to place the object or target of their research as a case in their research. Second, viewing a case as a contemporary phenomenon. It is contemporary in nature, meaning that the case is currently occurring or has already occurred, but still has an impact that can be felt at the time the research is carried out, or which can show a difference with the usual phenomena. In other words, as a bounded system, case study research is limited and only focused on things that are within these limits. Third, perform in a real-life condition. As well as qualitative research approaches in general, the implementation of case study research uses a naturalistic research approach. In other words, case study research uses one of the characteristics of a qualitative research approach, namely examining objects in conditions related to their context. In other words, case study research examines real life, which is seen as a case. Real life itself is a condition of life that exists in the human environment, both individuals and a member of the actual group. 4. Using various data sources, as well as other qualitative research strategies and methods. Case study research using various data sources. The use of various data sources is intended to obtain detailed and comprehensive data concerning the object under study. In addition, it is also intended to achieve the validity and reliability of the research. With these various data sources, the researcher can ensure the correctness and accuracy of the data obtained by cross-checking between the data obtained. The forms of the data can be in the form of notes on the result of interviews, field observation, observation of artifacts and documents. Last, using theory as a research reference. A relatively different characteristic of case study research compared to other strategies or case study research method is the use of theory as a research reference. Based on independent thinking which intends to build new original knowledge, qualitative research always connotes research that reject the use of theory as a research reference. The use of theory as a research is considered to reduce the originality of the findings from qualitative research. In case study research, theory is used both to determine direction and context, as well as the position of research result. The theoretical study can be carried at the front, middle, and back of the research process.
My name is Zahra. I want to continue presentation. Types of case study. First is exploratory case studies. Exploratory case studies set to explore any phenomena in the data which serve as a point of interest to the research. For instance, a researcher conducting an exploratory case study on individuals' reading process might ask general questions. In this case study, also pair fieldwork and small-scale data collection may be conducted before the research question and hypotheses are proposed. As a result, this initial work helps prepare a framework of the study. Second, descriptive case studies. This type of case study is used to describe an intervention or phenomenon and the real-life context in which it occurred. Descriptive case studies set to describe the natural data collection. Case study results typically include multiple data collection techniques and data are collection from multiple sources. Data collection techniques include interview, observation, direct and observation participant, questionnaire, artifact, and relevant document. In case study research, the data collected are usually qualitative. Example words, meaning, views, but can also be quantitative, descriptive, number, and table. But qualitative data analysis may be used in theory building and theory testing. The use of multiple data collection technique ensures strengthens the credibility of outcomes and enable different interpretation and meanings to be included in data analysis. This is known as triangulation.
Data analysis. After collecting data, the researcher analyzes the data. Data analysis in qualitative research is a process of categorization, description, and synthesis. Analyzing case study data is difficult because the strategies and techniques have not been well identified. Stake revolves for form of data analysis and their interpretation in case study research. The first, category collection. The researchers look for a collection of data examples and hope to find the meaning relevant to the issue that will arise. Second, direct interpretation. Third, the researchers form pattern and looks for a match between two or more categories. Four, in the end, researchers develop naturalistic generalization through data analysis. Besides that, Robert Yin also recommends technique in analyzing data using case study. Divided three analysis technique for case study. The first, pattern matching, namely by using pattern matching logic. Second, making an explanation, and the last, time series analysis. The advantages and disadvantages of case study. Advantages of case study. The first, provides in-depth information. Case studies can get specific, unique data and things that are very detailed and relevant data that cannot be revealed by other studies. Second, case studies are able to reveal the meaning behind phenomena in what they are. Namely, case studies present comprehensive description of a phenomenon that occur every day. Third, it exposes the participants to real-life situations which otherwise is difficult. 4. Case studies can also offer important evidence to complement experiment. They are very well suited to help explain the how and why question by investigating, and they are also highly usable when the investigator has little control over event. And the second, case studies are an effective means of showing the relationship between researcher and respondents so that they cannot provide proportional and experiment knowledge. And then, disadvantages of case study. The first, one cannot generalize from a single case. Second, it lacks of scientific generalizability. Third, it is often difficult to summarize specific case studies. 4. Extended time. And the last, difficult to know which subjective interpretation is the best.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I'm Amaliyatul Arif. Now I will present about the steps to carry out case study research. There are 5 steps to carry out case study research. There are case selection, data collection, data analysis, refinement, and writing report. The first, I will explain about case selection. Case selection should be carried out purposefully. There's an uncertainty. Cases can be selected by researchers by making objects of people, environment, program, process, and society or social units. There are the features of a good case study. The first feature is regarding something extraordinary which is related to public interest or even a national interest. And the second is the boundaries can be clearly defined. This completeness is also indicated by the depth and breadth of the data that the researcher extracts, and the case is able to be resolved by the researcher properly and precisely, even though there are various limitations. The third is able to anticipate various alternative answers and different angles. The fourth is case studies are able to show only the most important evidence, but those that support the views of researchers and those that are not based on the principle of selectivity. And the last is the result is written in an attractive style so that it can be communicated to the reader. Then the second step of this case study research is data collection. There are several techniques in data collection, but the ones that are most used in case research are observation, interviews, and documentation analysis. The researcher as a research instrument can adjust the method of data collection with the problem and research environment and can collect different data simultaneously. And number 3 is data analysis. Data analysis. After data has been collected, the researcher begins to aggregate, organize, and classify the data into manageable units. Aggregations is the process of abstracting specific things into general things in order to find general patterns of data. Data can be organized chronologically, categories, or entered into typologies. Data analysis was carried out from the time the researcher was in the field during data collection and after all data was collected or after completion in the field. Case analysis can be carried out into two types, namely holistic analysis of case or holistic and analysis of certain of specific aspects of cases or embedded. Through data collection, a detailed picture will emerge from the researcher's study of the history, the chronology of the case, or a picture of the day-to-day activity of the case. Furthermore, the themes of the results of every case study are examined cross-overly by using cross-case synthesis, or what is known as cross-case synthesis, and interpreting and integrating the meanings extracted from these cases. Next, the steps of case study research is refinement. Even though all the data has been collected, in the case study approach, it is necessary to refine or strengthening new data for categories that have been found. New data collection requires the researcher to return to the field and may have to create new categories. New data cannot be grouped into existing categories. The last steps is writing report. This stage is the final stage of the case study research. At this stage, the writer puts the results of his research into a report in a logical order and can be digested by the reader. Report should be written in a communicative manner, easy to read and clearly describe a symptom or social unity, making it easier for readers to understand all important information. The report is expected to bring the reader into situations in the life of a person or group. That is all about the case study research. We are so sorry if there are many mistakes from us. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.